You want me to introduce us? What's going on? Go ahead. This is your video.
Go on, son.
Greetings, pipe smokers of Ireland. This is BoldODonahue and Pipepastor here. Guest of honor.
You're the guest of honor.
That's what I said. I just said that. I'm the guest of honor on Pipepastor's residence video this week.
Well, people have been wanting BoldODonahue and I to show up for a while, but it's taking us forever to make a video. But it's winter, so we'll be rectifying that. So how are you lads doing this week? Those prizes, Kara, are so tempting. I just don't know how I'm going to get the money over there. Are you going to get any money in there?
I think so.
I'll go through him.
Yeah, you have to use a PayPal.
Well, lads and lasses, we're smoking some good tobacco today. Let me tell you. Doesn't this taste good?
There comes the government coming to take us away finally.
Doggone whirly birds. I'm smoking. What is that? I can't ever remember what this pipe is. It's got this Camoy?
I think so.
It's got a white C.
Camoy,
I think it is.
No, not Camoy.
The white C.
It's an Italian one. It's an Italian one. Camoy is not Italian.
I forget what it is. It was my father-in-law's, my late father-in-law's, and it's a Dublin, kind of canted. And it's kind of like a Dublin Canadian.
Sandblasted Canadian.
Very, very nice, big, long smoke.
I think yours is an autofocus, not like mine.
Well, you're going to have to get me one of those fancy dancy things.
There you go. There.
And what are you smoking there, son?
I'm smoking Pizza Moss and appears to be a
Nordic. The Nordic.
The Nording 14. I'm not sure if is that a model
like
number or a custom.
I don't ever pay attention to those things. It's
Anyway,
a brandy glass or whatever you call it.
I love this shape, and it's kind of like burly and husky, and like the ivory and the kind of like a bone kind of color there.
I love it. It even almost has a flavor to it, that stem. Almost sweet. Can't? My father-in-law, my late father-in-law, used to use his finger to tamp. His fingers were always nasty. And he'd use the Bic lighters and it'd burn his finger.
I tried to tamp using my finger, but you gotta wait a long time in between tamps. Otherwise it gets pretty hot. Listen to the cheap pins, bells of Dublin. What are you doing?
This is for the pipe smokers of Ireland, and this is I think my fifth. And my son and I, we gather our family together usually on the 16th. My wife's birthday is on the 17th, and she always feels guilty about asking anybody to help her decorate the house for Christmas, so she uses this time for us to give her the Christmas blessing of helping her set up the 130 feet of garland in every room, it seems. 45 feet, actually. And
you have a precise number now?
Well, 5 times 9, 45. 9 feet piece.
It's pretty good for a football player.
Lineman besides. but we all put up the big stuff like the garland that hangs from the ceiling. I used to do it. I don't anymore. These guys take care of it. I just drink. But we do the garland. We do the Christmas trees. My wife's got 3. And then we put up the Christmas villages on each of the window shelves.
The women folk do that.
Yeah, women folk do that. So we're going to get our stuff taken care of. And then they're going to come over with the boys. We're going to hang out with the boys for a while. And we have some specialty beers that we're going to be trying tonight. One's fantastic. If you guys haven't had this yet, it's made by the brewery, B-R-U-E-R-Y, and it's called Ignus, I-G-N-U-S, Fatuus, F-A-T-U-U-S, and it's a pumpkin porter. I can't really tell the pumpkin.
You mean ignorant foot?
It tastes nice and sweet. It tastes like it's going to be burnt coffee, so it's like off-putting, because then it washes all over your tongue It leaves. What the heck?
I'm sorry, it's on shuffle. And it went to the San Patricios album by the Chieftains, which is
Ignis fatuus is what it's called. It leaves this on the up front. It tastes like it's not going to taste good, and then as it leaves your palate, goes down your throat. Oh my gosh, it's awesome, man, awesome. It's a fall beer, and I got some of that, and then Saint Bernard, or is it Bernardo?
Bernardus? I don't know.
It's
Saint Bernardus.
It's Belgian amber. We're going to be having some of that later on. Probably a little bit of Jameson. They are. I can't even do that anymore, actually.
Did you give you heartburn? Yeah, it's been giving me heartburn lately.
So, it's an important day of the year because basically after this comes Thanksgiving, and we're in. And the weather starts getting cloudy and rainy the way Irish and I like it.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, it's a good time, man. I mean, summer we kind of survive it. We kind of tolerate it.
Yeah.
About time this starts changing weather, man.
That's where we live.
Nick and I live in that weather.
Oh man, this morning it was so misty and cloudy and
try 5 o'clock.
Cold.
It wasn't cold.
Well,
It hot.
Yeah, and then like the air was all moist and I loved it.
So we make these on Sunday, and we just got out of church. I preached another fit, and
yeah, there's another preacher on PSOI. Have you talked with him? He's the one that's always him and Kier are going back and forth, heckling each other. What's his name? They like they insult each other back and forth like siblings. What's his name? He's a pastor. He said, "This is what
the pastor looks like."
Or when I work on my sermon. Or something. Yeah. Yeah. You saw that?
Yeah. Har something T. Sorry, brother, we can't remember. I'm going to get all the names. I just got through remembering Mark Rizzo, or Rizzo, however you spell Mark. Mike.
Mike? Yeah, Mike.
Mike, sorry. And
he's the one that won the Highlands cigars.
He did?
I think, yeah.
Son of...
He won the olive cigars.
I really like Mike, and his video last week just cracked me up because he's sharing away, and this guy, Mike, let me tell you, you gulp a beer in such a way. He was gulping the whole glass of beer at a time.
Nice.
Yeah, and acting like he's a connoisseur. They're talking about how the berries are here, and cracked me up, and he just made the tobacco and the beer sound so good. And I was at work. I wanted to have a beer so bad, but then all of a sudden this commotion comes in, like it's like a football team is knocking down furniture and stuff like that. It's his dogs. He brought that big old dog up, Mau Mau, I think it was, and he was stinking like shite and stuff. Oh shoot, I gotta wash my new shirt now.
His dog's name is Mau Mau?
No, he calls him that. I think because he tried to adopt a cow or something.
Oh my gosh.
He had another name. So, anyway, what do you think about peach moss? Tell him about peach moss.
Oh, I love it. It's a good cherry cab. I'd say it's probably the top cherry Cavendish you can get besides Hobbit's Weed by Tewksbury. And there's only been one other cherry Cavendish. So I think there's a total of 3 that I found tolerable and I actually like, and peach moss is on the top of that list.
Don't mention Hobbit weed and stuff like that because Mike gets all.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I saw that post and I meant to get on that.
Here we go.
No, I totally agree with the. I really want to like the tobaccos that are themed after Lord of the Rings, just because the name.
But the ones
I really want to like them.
Just for him was pretty good. You said Treebeard was good.
No.
No, leaves of...
Ruins of Isengard and A Shortcut to Mushrooms are the only good ones. But, I mean, the main tobaccos from the books and the movies aren't any good. Long Bottom Leaf and Old Toby, horrible. It's just awful, and it shouldn't be awful. It should be very good. I'd say the closest thing that Tolkien had in mind when he's writing about those tobaccos would probably be what he and Lewis were smoking, and I would say a squadron leader and Escudo.
He had a name for it. What was his name?
For what?
For his tobacco? Somebody was selling
smoked squadron leader.
Oh, did he? Oh, that's right. Right.
Right, Joe. That I think Lewis. One of them smoked Escudo, something like that. But yeah, very English blends.
But we got we have probably 20 guys in our church started smoking a pipe because of Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
They're serious pipe smokers, but I mean, didn't you because of that?
No, I smoked a pipe because you and Grandpa Al smoked a pipe.
Lord of the Rings sure helped it along a little bit. And
Definitely.
it's going to help this time around too. Each time it comes around, I think it helps the pipe smoking community. It helps the pipe makers because they're going to make some money.
Yeah. And I don't mind the bandwagon people jumping on because of Lord of the Rings or Sherlock
It
Holmes.
can be obnoxious, but it's all good. It's all good.
It's just a stepping stone until they get into the hobby, and in ways, each one of us is drawn to the allure of pipe smoking by something nostalgic or
Well, that's true, huh?
or fanciful. And so, to some, it might be their grandfather. To some, it might be Lord of the Rings. To others, it might have been, some Boy Scout leader of theirs who smoked a pipe and they thought it was.
Those are all true for me, son.
I mean, yeah, it's
Mike.
something to everybody.
Dude, you're so grouchy. No, but great videos all the way around. Appreciate them.
Yeah, I put it on here, do you?
I do, as a matter of fact.
Actually,
Well, you're high name man.
my moss is a little moist here. Oh, man.
One does not want one's moss to be moist.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. Come on. So we come home today, and the first thing my wife has us doing is washing the windows. And she had Nick lift one complete window out, but he could have just removed the screen. Gave himself a hernia. Funny.
And he decided to be an overachiever and acid wash the dang windows to get the water spots off of them. So I'm standing there with the pitcher of water.
It's called serving your wife.
I'm staring at the pitcher of water. We're done. And they got some water left, about a liter in this pitcher. My dad's standing there looking at me all cockeyed.
No, I was looking at him. That wasn't a cockeye. That was a coal cock. You're going to get coal cocked.
He just has this funny look on his face. And I noticed that he just splashed the crap out of the window that I just dried off.
Excuse me?
And he's standing there looking at me like this. And I've got this pitcher of water. And I'm looking at him. He's looking at me. And he's just got this look of, don't you dare. And I've got this look of, oh, I want to. And he threatened me.
Fear kept him.
Like,
I told him I wasn't going to give him any beer.
yeah, no beer. I'm not going to let you smoke one of my pipes today. I forgot my pipes. I came with them right after church.
Out of the goodness of my heart.
Yeah. And so I'm like, well, the consequences worked in my action.
I'll tell you guys right now.
Well, I already got a chuckle out of it in my heart.
You sinned in your heart already.
Yeah.
He that covets bacon in his heart has committed breakfast already with it.
Yep. Where are we going? You got a theme for this one?
I have a theme, but I'm not done idling my motor yet. 15 minutes.
What time we got?
15 minutes?
We've been BSing for 15 minutes.
All right, you guys. The theme has been leisure. I'm going to close it out today by talking about the need for adventure. Men and boys need adventure. And Nick and I don't know how we started on this, but years ago, our place of solitude was out here when he was living with us at the time. And he went through a long stretch of not having a job, so I just brought my work home. We hung out in the backyard, and it was cloudy, and we got this huge tree out here, and it was just the closest thing we could have to a forest. And we kept coining the phrase that Tolkien came up with called "going north," to talk about leisure, taking some leisure time, rest our souls. Go out in the back and smoke a pipe. Call each other on the phone and, well, hey Nick, you want to go north? Bam.
Thank you.
Now going north is going to the Pious Pelican. His man room. This is my man. This is as close as I get to a man room.
You live near the airport, and I live near the train station.
So, going north was Tolkien's way, who was raised in South Africa. It was his way of dreaming about going back to Britain and being out in the more cooler weather and being out in the open. And I think he was an avid sportsman. He liked to hunt, liked to hike a lot. So did Lewis. So did Chesterton. And so I wanted to end this series on leisure by talking about adventure. It's important to know that there's a biological predisposition in men that I talked about last week to look out the window as if being called or drawn to a faraway place. And men are wired to be greatly concerned about the legacy that they leave behind. And the idea of legacy is imprinted into the heart of every man. And as a man lives longer and longer in this day and age, they experience different callings, different paths to self-worth, purpose, and meaning. And the importance of leaving a legacy to their children will dominate different stages of their lives. A part of leaving a legacy is the ability to tell stories to his children and to his peers and to his elders derived from his life experiences. Chris Hutchinson wrote this: "What happened to living life to the fullest? Where is the daring adventure that we dreamed about as a kid? Many of us have lost the passion for adventure that filled our childhood, and as real men, we should struggle to regain it. For in true adventure, we find much more than the cheap thrill of adrenaline. We find ourselves. Adventure is the element of a full life that is perhaps most neglected in modern society, and it is one of the most crucial. To have grand adventures and be able to tell tales of them is a central theme to manliness. The problem is that in our age of technological revolution, we have written off adventure and exploration as things of the past, no longer necessary thanks to our newfound ever-evolving capabilities. What we need to realize," he says, "is that it is not the discovery of new things that is important for the average man, but the understanding of ourselves which we often acquire through high adventure and through the past." And you can resonate with that because you like old things.
Mm-hmm.
The older things that sometimes lose value, Nick sees those, man, he finds all kinds of value in them.
Mm-hmm.
So according to Hutchinson, adventure offers greater rewards for a man than almost anything else in a man's life. Not in material sense, but in the immense, I quote, "in the immense satisfaction of setting your sights on an achievement and accomplishing it." Now, it doesn't sound like leisure, but to a large extent, a man experiences the same as he would in what we would define as a more leisurely activity if he was outside accomplishing something.
Mm-hmm.
Again, that's Nick. When he's at a project or when he's working on something and he gets lost in what he's doing, He gets refreshed. Hutchinson continues, the thirst for adventure comes from within ourselves. It is our inner desire to expand our knowledge through first-hand experience, to test the limits of our own strength and endurance, and in doing so, to discover who we really are, our true self. So, guys and gals, lads and lasses, a man needs to come to a place in his life where he schedules adventures, where he risks almost everything he thinks he can to break out of the constraining boundaries our mechanized and feminized society puts in him. Hutchinson writes, the choice to live an adventurous lifestyle is not an easy one. It's very difficult to break free of the monotonous routine of daily life when you have been repeating it for years on end. You can easily come up with a handful of excuses why you shouldn't book that weekend whitewater rafting trip, or travel to a foreign country, or make an appointment for your first scuba lesson. I can't get off work, some might say, or I should spend this money. Who's going to watch the kids, etc. There's only one way to break the routine, and that's to just do it. Keep in mind the words of George Mallory, known for attempting the first ascent of Mount Everest. He said, what we get from adventure is just sheer joy. And joy is, after all, the end of life. We do not live to eat and make money. We eat and make money to be able to live. That is what life means and what life is for. And Mallory goes on and he says, and I end this with this, perhaps it is time for men to seek to regain the element of adventure. We need to bring risk back into our lives. If we are truly to embrace the adventurous life, we must find within ourselves the daring resolve to snatch up our mere existence and drive it to the edge of possibility, knowing full well that the future holds no guarantee for safety, prosperity, or happiness, and that a full life is not given to a man, but it's taken by the man. You have anything to say about that, Garden?
Hey, I still it too.
I told you.
Professional pipe smoker right there.
Professional.
Professional.
So what do you guys got to say about that?
Cool. Did you ask me a question?
Well, I want to know what they think and what you think about that. I mean, in Ireland, this is what I would assume. I would assume in Ireland, because there's so much land and so much green, so much weather, that perhaps there's more opportunity to enjoy the leisure of adventure than maybe here. What do you think?
I definitely think America, since our industrial revolution and all the advances in technology, we've lost the love of leisure, or the necessity of leisure.
And I like that, the necessity, because a lot of guys don't know that leisure is a necessity for a man to be healthy.
Yeah, I think America is just so fast-paced and so opposite of many other countries. I think Ireland's the same. I mean, Ireland's the opposite. From what I've read, anyway, that the people are more leisurely. They're not so pressed to be punctual necessarily. They kind of take things. I don't know. I think it's everyday life is just more leisurely paced, and America is just so fast paced and
busy.
All about busy.
Every hour of the day, they have to be doing something.
Yeah. And you Irishmen are watching this who live in Ireland, you might, just be listening to what I just said instead of, he's full of crap. Just going off of what I read. That's all.
Well, even the Christian movements there, like green martyrdom and white martyrdom, where they shove off in a boat, and wherever they landed, where they would preach the gospel. It was very adventurous.
Well, the Catholic spirit finds worship and commune with God in all activities that they do, including leisure. So they're able to they're able to redeem even leisure to be constructive and to be redemptive. So I mean, whatever you do, especially leisure.
On the first video we did on this, I was talking about the fact that it was a long-standing thought among the Greeks and the Romans that they didn't even have a word for work. Work was just something one did so one could have leisure, recreation, and adventure. And one of the sayings that my son and I have is that we're men of simple pleasure, and we try not to buy into that busyness as much as possible. I know even as you got a young child now, but you still have that man room.
Yeah.
And that man room gives you a sense of separation and in solitude.
Well, and as busy as I've been with moving in and unpacking, once Colm goes down for the day, I might work another. I might do a project for an hour, but I always make sure at the end of the day, I take time out and do a leisurely activity. Kick my feet up, smoke my pipe. Otherwise, I'm just so wound up, so tight.
My favorite times is camping with you, son.
Mm-hmm. Me too, Dad.
Huh?
Me too, Dad.
A couple of times we almost lost our lives.
Typhoon, hurricanes coming through.
Smothered in smoke in a tent that we lit a...
We should have died.
But we didn't, did we?
Carbon monoxide poisoning.
And we're better meant for it.
Yes. Our lungs have a coating of Teflon and burning.
It was so miserable. We were coming home, and I called my wife, and she said, she humiliated us. She said, don't you dare come home, you wusses. And I mean...
It was torrential rain coming down.
We're not kidding. And wind. It was like losing your life, divulging, deluge. But we did.
So we set up our tent, the pouring rain. Got our rain canopy on. We set up the rain shelter, and then we over the fire pit, and we lit the dang fire pit under the rain canopy.
But mind you, we're holding it up because the wind's blowing so bad and it's raining so bad.
So we're huddled under the fire with the smoke and we're smoking our pipes, and we're drinking our beers and whatnot, trying to try
not to die.
Try not to die.
Oh, good times, good times. Well, guys, it's good to be with you again today. I wish you were here with my son and I. Our evening is just beginning, and what we should do is make a video later on to show them the difference.
After the Bernardus and the...
No, after the joy of family.
No, exactly what I was talking about.
So, until we hear from you, you guys have a splendid week.
Too.
And I want you to know that I have a site on YouTube. I have a channel on YouTube called Pipepastor. It's one word, capital Pipepastor. And it's got all my videos over the years that I've done. And then Nick's site, which is much better produced and all that. It's called BoldODonahue, BOLD, capital ODONAHUE. And his videos are just excellent as well. I invite you to come over, friend us, join us, follow us, and we'll do the same with you. But until next we meet, Slanche.
Slancha.